Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. And this video today I will show you how to get an old paper effect, and I will be using this Clairefontaine Fontaine watercolor paper. It is 300 GSM or 140 pounds, cold press, 100% cotton, 18 by 24 centimeters or 7 by 9.5 inches. And also I will be using this tape, just a masking tape, and a paper. This is left over from stickers, so it's really like a foil on one side, so you can glue some tape on top of it. Also I will be using scissors, but if those are too big, you can of course use a little bit smaller scissors. This large brush, this is a mob brush, also a little bit smaller mob brush, and one round brush. This is something like a middle size, number 8 I think. And also I will be using this distress marker, and I do love it because it is water soluble, and when you add water it just spreads slightly, looks like an old ink on paper. And for the paints I will be using only 2 paints, one a little bit darker brown and one lighter, that's something like a raw sienna and I guess burnt sienna, but maybe sepia better. And that's basically it. I will be starting with gluing this masking tape onto the foil paper, and first I did slightly press it onto my clothes just to make it a little bit less sticky. When I put it on my watercolor paper, it should be a little bit less sticky and not to rip that paper. Afterwards I've just cut it into 4 stripes, and then just doing the edge of the paper, you can see I'm just wiggling with my scissors to make it uneven and also add maybe some rips to the paper. And that is how I did all 4 sides, so you can definitely do as you like and as deep as you like to make that rip. That is also fine. I just glue it onto all 4 sides of the paper. And with that, the preparation is done. You can of course also use here the masking fluid, but I think this is something that is accessible to all of us, and I think it might even be a nicer effect, and you don't have to wait for the masking fluid to dry. Afterwards I've pre-wetted the entire paper, and then with this darker brown, something like a sepia, and this large, very large mob brush, I'm doing the edge, and the edge will be a little bit darker, in sides it will be a little bit lighter, but I'm not gonna try to paint an even wash. You shouldn't paint an even wash. That paint should be definitely as different as possible. So just press your brush, pick it up, do the circle motions, line, and just whatever you like to make it look like an old paper that got yellow with the time. So it should not by all means be perfect and have a perfect wash on top of it. Just a little bit more of that darker brown, especially on the parts that are ripped. And also I did do a couple of splatters with mix of that dark brown and raw sienna, and just spread it also with my brush. And since the paper is still wet, it is bleeding, but I do want it to be a little bit spread, so I did tap it with my brush and spread it a little bit more, just adding a little bit more of that dark paint of the edges. And that is something that you can do. You can add as much as you like. If you want it to be lighter, you can make it lighter. If you want to be darker, you can make it darker. Afterwards I just left it to dry completely, and then with this distress marker I'm just writing in some text. Actually that's not really any text, I'm just scribbling with that marker, but you can of course also write a text. That's also fine. Maybe you want a note for someone, maybe you want to make it into a card. That's also fine. You can write in maybe some quotes and whatever you like and frame it and put it on your wall. After I finished it, I've just sprinkled it with the clean water, and as I said, this is water soluble, so when the water touches on top of it, it actually spreads some paint and it looks like an old ink that has got into the paper and it got ruined a little bit. And then also I did wanted to make it look as though that ink like spilled on one side of the paper. It is not really how it ended up to look, but you know, I did wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, that part, and looking like an ink. And with that, I'll be finishing off. So it does look very nice, doesn't it? And it does look like it is sitting on top of some white paper. I do love how this turned out at the end. I hope you do like it. If you do like it, please hit the like button, share it, comment. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. That would really mean a lot to me. And again, guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.